Who taught you to apologize to a room before you had done anything wrong? Who made you believe that a grown person's silence was a test you were supposed to pass? Because some of you were raised in homes where nothing is wrong had the same weight as a loaded gun. Nobody explained the tension. It just moved through the rooms like a smell nobody wanted to claim. At dinner, the forks did more talking than the people. One person stared at the plate. One person stared at the television. One person made a joke too loud and everybody else pretended not to hear it land. Meanwhile, there you were, a little girl with milk on her lip trying to solve questions that did not belong in a child's mouth. Why does Mama's face look like she lost something? Why does he get mean after the phone rings? Why does everybody smile like they are afraid their teeth might tell the truth? You did not get answers. You got atmosphere, and atmosphere will raise a child if nobody else does. It taught you that joy had a volume limit. It taught you to study a cabinet closing for clues about the rest of the evening. It taught you that some names could not be said at the table without turning the air into glass. You did not become quiet because you had nothing to say. You became quiet because your questions kept arriving in places where honesty had been put on punishment. So you learned the first terrible skill of a daughter born into unfinished pain, how to disappear without leaving. They called you observant. You were on duty. You learned the distance between a door shutting and a door being slammed. You learned which kind of breathing meant somebody was about to cry and which kind meant somebody wanted you to be scared. You learned how to enter a room already edited. No big feelings, no inconvenient questions, no need that could turn into one more thing for everybody else to carry. That is why, adult, you can walk into a restaurant, a meeting, a relationship, and know who is irritated before the appetizers arrive. That is why you can hear a period in a text message and spend 3 hours preparing for a war that may not even exist. That is why you call a man complicated when what you mean is, my childhood already gave me a dictionary for this. You know better than to call a person mysterious when they keep making you decode basic respect. You know better than to confuse your body's alarm with a sacred sign that somebody belongs to you. You know better than to call peace boring just because it does not make you perform a full investigation before breakfast. But I am not here to shame you for reaching. I am here to tell you why you did. You grew up with a barometer under your skin. Every mood shift registered as survival information. So of course you became attracted to people whose warmth came with conditions. Conditions feel legible when you were raised inside a riddle. You keep mistaking the thing you can predict for the thing that is good for you. The old alarm is not evil. It got you through. But a fire alarm does not become your best friend because it was useful during a fire. At some point, you have to stop letting it choose your lovers, your friends, your jobs, and the shape of your own voice. So the next time your chest tightens because somebody has not replied, do not immediately write a whole tragedy with yourself in the starring role. Set the phone down. Put your feet on the floor. Ask 3 questions. What did I feel before I began explaining them? What am I about to do that I would not do if I believed I was safe? Who benefits if I keep doubting what I know? There, that is not a spell. That is a door handle. Use it, because you know better than to spend your adult life turning yourself into a customer service desk for other people's emotional inconvenience. You know better than to keep asking, "Are you mad at me?" when the real question is, "Why am I still volunteering to be blamed?" You know better than to make a home inside someone else's inability to speak plainly. And when the answer to those questions is heavy, let it be heavy. Do not rush to decorate it. Tell a trusted person. Work with a trauma-informed counselor, an advocate, or a support service if the old patterns keep dragging you back into relationships that make you vanish. That is not weakness. That is a woman refusing to let childhood keep writing checks her adult heart has to cash. The little girl was right. Something was sad. Somebody was hurting. Somebody was pretending. She was not too much for noticing what the grown-ups buried under routine. She was a witness with nobody safe enough to testify to. But you are not trapped in that courtroom anymore. You can believe the witness now. When your spirit says, "This is not right," you do not have to cross-examine her until she becomes convenient. You can listen. You can leave a conversation without proving it was bad enough. You can stop translating cruelty into a language that lets the cruel person sleep well. You can ask for tenderness without pleading your case like a defendant. Your body may call rest abandonment and calm boring. Let it learn slowly. Give it proof. Let it watch someone keep their word. Let it watch you say no and survive the disappointment that follows. Let it learn that a closed door does not always mean somebody is angry. Sometimes it means you are allowed to sleep, and one day you will hear a cabinet close and keep reading your book. You will receive a short text and refuse to bleed an entire backstory onto it. You will sit at a table and let yourself laugh all the way through it. That is not a small miracle. That is the daughter coming back for everything she was forced to leave behind. If this found you, send it to the woman who has spent decades reading the air instead of breathing it. And for more Mama Graves, truth that help you stop shrinking for old ghosts, visit mamagraves.org. You were not born to decode everybody else's pain. You were born to hear your own voice and trust what it tells you.